Hey fight fans, welcome to MMA Daily, your go-to source for the latest news, fight analyses, and exclusive interviews in mixed martial arts. Hit subscribe and join us as we step into the cage together. Starting off, Chael Sonnen shares nasty text Sean Strickland sent him immediately after Khamzat Chimaev's win at UFC 308. Moving on, Khabib Nurmagomedov gives cousin Umar powerful advice regarding UFC title shot controversy. Lastly, Magomed Ankalaev sends clear message to Alex Pereira following UFC 308. Former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland sent a scathing message to Chael Sonnen aimed at UFC 308 winner Khamzat Chimaev immediately after his #1 contender fight. Chimaev earned the biggest win of his career by submitting former title holder Robert Whittaker by face crank in the UFC 308 co-main event. He remains undefeated in his career and cemented himself as a top middleweight contender with the victory. Strickland, who is gunning for a rematch with UFC middleweight champion Dricus, immediately told Chimaev he's the next man up in a social media post. Strickland most recently defeated Paulo Costa at UFC 302 in June. But while Strickland's initial reaction seemed harmless, he took things a few steps further in a conversation with Sonnen. In a recent episode of Good Guy, Bad Guy with Daniel Cormier, Sonnen shared the text he received from Strickland during UFC 308. "I'm next in line, it's been said and it's been written. After I beat Dricus du Plessis up, Chimaev can step up. And to the point that Chimaev is a contender, I welcome that, but I have Dricus next. The man who scammed his fans, became friends with a dictator, and had to flee his homeland while staying on the run, needs to tighten his own leash up a little bit. Hey Chimaev, sit down and wait your turn." That is from the former champion Sean Strickland, and that was a quote. The dictator that Strickland referred to above is Ramzan Kadyrov, the head of Chimaev's native Chechnya. He and Chimaev had a close relationship, a relationship that has come under intense scrutiny due to Kadyrov's various controversies while in power. Du Plessis defeated Strickland by split decision at UFC 297 in the first pay-per-view headliner of 2024. The champion has gone on to defeat Israel Adesanya in a successful first title defense since the first Strickland fight. UFC Hall of Famer Khabib Nurmagomedov went through a similar delayed coronation to a world title shot as his cousin Umar Nurmagomedov now traverses. Umar, the presumptive #1 bantamweight contender in the UFC, is expected to face Merab Dvalishvili next. Despite Dvalishvili's stance against Umar getting the next title shot, UFC CEO Dana White seemed to confirm as much during the UFC 308 post-fight press conference. After Umar was briefly linked to a potential clash with Song Yadong in December, he'll likely face Dvalishvili in the first quarter of 2025. The uncertainty regarding Umar's next fight reminded Khabib about his own struggles to garner recognition during his legendary career. It was a long road to the title shot, which included injury issues and Conor McGregor leapfrogging him. In a recent post to his Instagram story, Khabib reacted to Dvalishvili's rant about Umar's title positioning. "Islam Makhachev and I have already been in his place. This is called a transition period. Over time, everyone will want to fight you. Just keep pushing forward." Dvalishvili made headlines during a recent Q&A when he snapped at a Umar fan who accused him of ducking the fight. Umar wasn't slow to respond, questioning Dvalishvili's seriousness and path towards recognition. Umar most recently defeated Corey Sandhagen at UFC Abu Dhabi earlier this year. The undefeated Dagestani is one of the toughest puzzles to solve in the UFC bantamweight division. If Umar wins the UFC title next year, he'll be the latest Team Khabib fighter to hold a major world title. Khabib's cousin Usman holds the Bellator lightweight title, and UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev is the present pound-for-pound king. Umar is frustrated by his slow ascent to the top of the bantamweight division, but Khabib and others believe the fruits of his labor will come to the surface. Magomed Ankalaev is convinced that Alex Pereira is avoiding him. Ankalaev shared the octagon with Aleksandar Rakic on the main card of UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. It was a pivotal fight for Ankalaev, who was told he'd need an impressive win to secure another light heavyweight title bout. Ankalaev won via unanimous decision, although the debate on whether or not he should fight Pereira next rages on. Chatting with media members following UFC 308, Magomed Ankalaev said he believes Alex Pereira is doing all he can to dodge him. "Let's do it. Alex, stop running away from me. I have heard that he wants to fight during Ramadan. We are not fighting in Ramadan. Otherwise, after Ramadan or before Ramadan, if he says yes, we will fight him. I think he's being protected. I'm not sure why the UFC is doing it. I think they're protecting him. We know that he's an exciting fighter. We know that he fights in the stand." He's a great striker, so I think that they're just saving him, protecting him. Some have questioned if Ankalaev's performance against Rakic hindered his chances of challenging Pereira next. Others feel Ankalaev has been long overdue a second chance at the gold and should be awarded the shot. Pereira has said that he isn't being protected by UFC, rather the promotion doesn't like Ankalaev's fights because he is boring. Tuning in to MMA Daily. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more daily MMA content. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight.